What would you do if you adopted a puppy, only to later discover it wasn't a dog at all? Well, that's exactly what happened to a man named Paul. On a cold winter morning, Paul decided to go for a walk to warm himself up with some exercise. He lived in Siberia, near a forest that was a popular walking spot. But on this particular day, he decided to explore a new trail. As he walked, he heard the faint cries of a puppy. He followed the sound until he spotted a tiny, shivering dog under a tree. The puppy was freezing and so young that its eyes were still closed. Paul couldn't understand how anyone could abandon such a helpless creature in the woods. Without hesitation, he picked up the puppy to warm it in his arms. He rushed the little one home, and with each step, he felt himself growing more attached. He named the puppy Aquila and took it to the vet for a checkup. Thankfully, everything was fine, and Paul decided to keep Aquila for good. As time passed, Paul and Aquila bonded like any human and their beloved pet. But as Aquila grew, Paul began to notice something unusual. The puppy ate much more than a typical dog, and its behavior was a bit different. Still, Paul couldn't quite figure out what was going on. Then, Aquila started growing rapidly. Its features began to sharpen, and its body grew wider and stronger. Paul was puzzled. What kind of dog was this? He started asking friends for their opinions, but no one could guess Aquila's breed. Desperate for answers, Paul began sharing pictures of Aquila online. Still, no one had a clue. Finally, Paul reached out to an animal expert who agreed to meet Aquila in person. When they arrived at the expert's office, the expert was stunned. Paul hadn't brought a dog. He had brought a Eurasian gray wolf, one of the largest wolf species on Earth. And here it was, walking calmly on a leash, having been raised as a pet. The expert explained that as young pups, these wolves can look remarkably like dogs, but as they mature, their true nature becomes unmistakable. Soon, the story spread, and zoos began reaching out, offering to adopt Aquila, but Paul refused. Others suggested releasing Aquila into the wild, but Paul couldn't bear the thought. Aquila had grown up as a pet, and Paul loved him dearly. In the end, Paul decided to keep Aquila and provide the life the wolf needed. He was prepared to face the challenges of caring for a wild animal, even though Aquila had never shown aggression and behaved more like a domesticated dog. Though Paul was shocked to learn that the puppy he had rescued wasn't a dog, his love for Aquila never wavered. In fact, this experience sparked a passion for wildlife and animal rescue in Paul. Since then, he has saved many more animals, giving them a second chance at life. Their story has touched countless hearts, and we hope it has touched yours too. If you enjoyed this tale, feel free to share it with your friends.